Always a party at Patchworks. Let's get this party started. Woot, woot. Hi, everyone. This is Julie from Patchworks, and I'm so excited that you're joining us for another Must Sew TV night here Thursday at Patchworks. For those of you who are watching from afar, I hope that you are staying warm and dry. And for those of you in the southeastern Wisconsin area, I hope that you are staying warm as well on this chilly night. So tonight I have Frank with me behind the cameras, and it is me here behind the console. We gave Tammy the night off, so I'll be seeing a few of your comments along the way, and if I miss anything, I promise that I will fill in comments later. So let me just make sure I can see you to make sure we don't have any weird technical difficulties. And if something strange comes up and you don't think that I respond, just say, raise your hand and let us know so that we can correct any issue. So I'm super excited that we are entering into February, and we're getting used to this whole 2022 thing, and we have some really great fabric to show you. Now, if this is the first time that you're tuning in for a FreeSpirit Club because maybe you heard about it late or you weren't quite sure what was going on, have no fear. We can get you all caught up. This is only the first week of February, and we have so much great stuff to show you. So, FreeSpirit Club is a club where we love all things FreeSpirit. So what is that? That is fabrics like Facet, Tula Pink, Tim Holtz, now Victoria Finley Wolf, and some other really amazing designers. And so what we thought we would do is that we would celebrate these designers and their great fabrics every single month and offer you some curated fabric selections, show off the latest and greatest fabrics, and also pair it with fun projects like the one that's behind me. So let's take a peek at the fabric that we have this morning, or this afternoon, this evening. So Frank, let's look overhead. All right, so here we go. This month we have 4 amazing options. So here, the top option here, this is Tula in purples. So what we thought we would do is that we would have a curated selection that would just do a color story this particular month. They all play really well together, and we went from the really light lavenders and then to some deep, gorgeous, luscious plums, incorporating in some brilliant solids as well as the gorgeous tent stripes and palms. Now, what I want to remind everybody of is that we continue to stock all of the true colors, tent stripes and palms, and Tula solids, so as well as all of her new collections, just so that you know and you can feel confident if you need to order anything. So we are offering the club packs in the 12 fabrics as fat eighth packs, or if you need to have more, we have them, of course, as the fat quarter bundles. Oh, yummy. So, I know you need to have it all, and so this is the fat quarter bundles. 12 fat quarters is 3 yards of fabric, okay? So really nice. And then, of course, the fat A's would be 1.5 yards. The second fabric collection, curated collection that we put together for you today is a Facet Collective. And we did the blues into the greens with some gorgeous, yummy fabrics. Of course, we have the beautiful fat eighths, 1.5 yards here. Or we can go into the fat quarters. Now we have a brand new fabric collection here. And if you popped into our Facebook Live yesterday, you saw an unboxing of this fabric that Frank did for us, which was really fun. So this is Night Fancy by Victoria Finley Wolf, and we'll show you the full collection a little bit later, but this pack right here is 12 delicious fabrics, And I just really love these little snowflakey guys here. And we'll look at the fabrics a little bit more, but they're just really cool. And they play well up to Kaif, over to Tula, really just working well together. So they are in the store currently on the end cap right next to Kaif and Tula. And then, oh, and of course we have it both in the fat eighth and the fat quarter selection. Now for our Tim Holtz down here, we curated a collection that included these really cool ephemera prints. And then we put in some distressed, we put in some of the blenders here, and we mixed in 2 of the Christmas pieces because they really aren't Christmas and they work into this particular line. So my favorite piece, well, I'll just show you the key pieces if you haven't seen these here. It's a little hard with his pieces because they are all overs. So you can see here, that's that one. And I love just how there's all this text and interesting pieces. You could use them as a whole quilt or a whole piece in a quilt, or you can cut it up, you can fussy cut, you could craft with this, you could decoupage with it, all sorts of really great things. And I love these cigar boxes. Love, love, love it. I remember I had at my mom's, I would store all of my threads, buttons, and treasures in these really cool cigar boxes. I don't know what happened to them, but oh my goodness, they're so cool. All right, so that is this particular fabric line or curated collection that we put together. I hope you love one of them that you saw. And if you are joining us for the first time this month and wanted to get caught up, we still have fabrics from our January collection, and that was a beautiful rainbow collection from Tula Pink, a neutral black into brown for Tim Holtz, and the scarlet collection that we put together for Kaif. So lots of great fabrics to choose from, to catch up with. Hopefully there's something that is to your liking from this grouping. We continue to get lots of new fabric in, and we're excited to share them with you. So we're first going to take a look at the project behind me. It's a lot of fun. And we did something here where we were inspired by one of the super exciting free and downloadable projects off the FreeSpirit website. So Frank's going to pull up a picture of what that one is. It's called Glow. And I am going to share the link for what that free and downloadable pattern is. We changed it up here, but I wanted to share with you what that link is. It's right there. Oh, and that's the quilt behind us. So Frank, let's take a peek at the quilt that's inspired it all. And he's sharing it with us now. So this is the quilt that inspired it all. And so you can see that it's not fabrics that we've used at all in what we're showing you, but it's some gorgeous Kaif. And so now we're going to take a peek at the quilt that we made. And so Frank, pop that picture up that you had shared with us. Okay. So what we did is that we made this with 12 fat quarters, and then I added in some fabric, and I'll show you how I did that. And then, Frank, let's look at the back of the quilt. So we did something super exciting. I'm going to share with you how we did it, where we used some leftovers, a little bit of extra stash, and then this was a great way to take advantage of using one length of fabric with a lap size quilt that is a really economical but artistic and exciting way to make a quilt back. So let's get to it. We are going to look at what we did here. So what I'm going to share with you is how we went ahead and cut this fat quarter. So we used a fat quarter bundle for this. Okay, so we used our CAFE one. I probably should pull out the CAFE one that we used. Da-da-da, we used the CAFE one. And then what I did is I added in this fabric here. So I took a half yard of this, and then for the backing, and I used the same fabric on the binding, I took 1.25 yards of this. All right. For the back, I also used 2 yards of black. So that's everything that you need. To cut the fat quarter like we used in the quilt, I'm going to show you how we did it. So we're going to look overhead, and I'm going to grab a fat quarter. Okay, so we have a fat quarter here. And what I do when I like to cut a fat quarter, so I could stack them all, and I said here to use 17.5 inches of it. Really, with something artistic like this, what you could do is take all of your fat quarters and cut to the maximum width that you can cut. Okay, so if you were able to get the full 18 inches out, great. If for some reason, or you washed it, or it was just off of some stash and you only wanted to be 16 inches, no problem. So as wide as you can get all of them to be is how you want to do it. When I wrote it up, I said 17.5, but you can do whatever you'd like. So I often fold things in half when I'm doing my straight cuts here. So I'm just going to give that a straight cut, and then I'm going to rotate my mat. And I'm going to line up at this edge here because that's how I lined it up, and I'm not sure if my bottom edge is a straight. Got to back it up a second here. Da-da-da. All right, so in a fat quarter, you have 20 usable inches, okay? So you might have more, you might have hopefully not less. You know, fabric off the bolt, we used to say was 45 inches wide. Well, I say it's 40 usable inches, and therefore I'm only having you guaranteed 20 inches in your fat quarter, okay? So I made the math based on that. And so I have my straight edges on this side, and I'm just going to make a straight edge cut here. And how do I do that? I line up a perpendicular on my ruler. I align this to the edge of it. I'm going to scoot it over. If you have a different way that you like to square up, no problem. This is just how I like to do it, and it works really well. Okay, so I have my straight edge on that side. Now we're going to rotate the mat. Now you're like, Julie, why are you rotating the mat? Well, you want to move the fabric the least amount possible, okay? So we might not have the whole thing underneath, but that's okay. So we are going to cut a 6-inch strip. We're going to cut a 4.5-inch strip. Frank, can you see if you can turn up my volume on maybe the mixer? We need a 3. I'm just going to move this once so that I don't have to move it again. And then a 2.5 and 2 1.5s. And I'll repeat those for those of you following along at home. 2.5, 1.5, and 1.5. So this one, we had a little bit extra and we could go farther. I just wanted to make sure that you definitely had enough. And if all of your fat quarters were enough to cut more, you absolutely could. But I just made the minimum that I thought you could get out. So let me line this up here. Dun, dun, dun. So is the sound a little bit better? Frank turned it up a little bit. So Louise and Barb, if you could let me know, that'd be awesome. And I had some really good numbers here, and maybe I'm just talking a little tonight, low tonight. Okay, so we cut a 6, a 4.5, a 3. Yes, everybody thinks it's better. Thank you so much, Frank. Okay, so a 6, a 4.5, 3, 2.5, 1, and 1.5, and 1.5. Ooh, fancy. Okay, so if I were doing this for the quilt, I would probably stack more fabrics up on top of each other, but for our demonstration here, I just wanted to show you how we were doing it. So each fat quarter yields 1 quilt block, okay? And how you do this is that you mix and match the fabrics. So when we were making it, the challenge was to use a different piece of fabric for each of the strips, okay? So you only do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces per block. You mix and match the fabrics, and as an added bonus, every block we were putting together in different order. So Frank, let's take a peek behind us, okay? So we had the block is here, okay? So this is the row. Do you see here how we have the way that when we rotate them, you don't have to worry about intersections here, okay? So we're just choose to go, you know, the 6 different pieces in different order, and then different fabrics and mix it up, all right? This concept can work for any size. We just gave you what the dimensions were to make it a little bit easier of how we put this together. Now let's say you're only going to be working with the fat eighths. Well, you could do something similar, skinnier, okay? That can be, what you can do is you could just have it be 8.5 inches wide and then having just a little bit of a smaller quilt. Sound good? Now what we did, we wanted to add in a little bit of spark, okay? So in the original Glow project, they used one piece that was used throughout. So what I thought is I said, let's be zippy. That's a good word, right? Zippy. And I thought this piece would be really cool. And so this comes off the bolt like this, okay, with vertical strips. And I thought it would be cool to use like this. So what we did is that we got, actually, I said a half a yard, but you'd want 5/8 of a yard in order to get your 20 inches, right? And so we did the same thing where we cut it like you would cut 2 fat quarters, but we cut it not exactly like a fat quarter, we cut it this way. Does that make sense? Okay. So, and then we mixed it together. So then we had a total of 14 squares. Well, remember at the beginning, I told you that every fat quarter makes 1 square. And if you looked here and you're like, Julie, that looks like it's a 3x4 set, which is 12 blocks. What are we going to do with the other 2? And so Frank's going to pull up again the back of the quilt. And what we did here is on this back of the quilt is that we used the 2 extra blocks and then a little bit extra of that fabric that we got for the binding. Okay, and then we put it at the top and the bottom. Now let's say you had a whole bunch of extra scrap that you wanted to just put together. Well, you absolutely can do that. I'm not going to make you buy extra fabric if you don't want to, okay? But of course, we all need extra fabric. So, you know, just you can choose to not buy fabric on like February 30th and 31st or something like that. But I think that you might need a little bit extra to finish this off. So with the quilt, what we did for the finishing was that we took our black fabric, that 2 yards of black fabric, and we spliced it down the middle. Now, if you wanted to be artsy, you could splice it offside, okay, so that that strip wasn't going right down the middle, because sometimes it's cool to have that be offset or something, but we just want to be simple, a little bit easy to follow, so we spliced it down the middle, and we took our leftovers and put it right down there, and then had it quilted. Squared it up and finished it off. So I hope you like that project concept. What does everyone think? Does anybody have any questions? Oh, Diane, I can see that you're going to make a table runner with this concept. Yeah, I think that's going to be really cool. And, you know, you could do them skinny, thick, you know, and if you did as a table runner, you could make these strips and even cut them up. Oh, I can't wait to see what everyone is going to do with the inspiration of being able to mix and match and make some really cool strip things. So I hope you enjoyed that. Now what we're going to do is we are going to delve in and take a little bit deeper look at our Victoria Finley wool fabrics. How does that sound? So I am super excited that she has come over to FreeSpirit, and you know, because I know she's had fabric for quite some time, and it's really hard because I can't carry all the fabric. I know you find that really hard to believe, and I think Frank thinks that we get all of the fabric that's ever made, but you know, and I know that that's not true. And so we're super excited that she has this new line. It's called Night Fancy, and it is 15 pieces and has a wide back. So the wide back is in transit, but not quite here. So, you know, with all the weather going on throughout the country, things might be an extra day or two to get here, but it is in transit, so it's not stuck in a warehouse somewhere. And let's take a peek at the fabric. So I'm just going to quick set aside some of the fabrics that I have so that we have lots of room to look. How does that sound? Okay, so this is on our website, and I wasn't sure, since I knew I'd be, I wasn't sure about the thing, so we were going to just, we put it on the front page of our website. All right, so here we go. Let's take a look at the full line. All right. Now, we have some project inspiration ideas as well. I saw Nancy last night at the Menominee Falls Quilt Guild, and she was super excited that we would whip up a quilt by tonight. But sadly, we weren't quite that quick. We were able to get it unboxed and cut and packaged and ready to go. So, very eclectic, very fun. Some key pieces and some really nice blenders. The spirit to create. And this piece right here is very similar to one of her one of her favorite quilt patterns that she has. So there is some pattern inspiration that she shared with us, and as I'm sharing them with you, I invite you to request if you would like us to order in any of these patterns. So Frank, let's take a peek at them. So first up we have Are We There Yet? In dark, and her patterns are scaled. These particular ones have 3 different quilt sizes in there. The twin, which is 72 by 96, queen 96 by 96, and king 108 by 96. So there's a dark version and a light version. Nice pinwheels with the half square triangles. The next quilt that we have is the smooth turns. So I did not see this one on her website yet. It uses some of her acrylics, and It is a 72 by 96 quilt. I'm not sure if this pattern has other sizes. The next quilt that we have, oh, this is one of Victoria's signature quilts. This is her Star Storm, which is a foundation piece. It is 80 by 80. And there's also a mini available, which is the same pattern, just in smaller scale, and that is 40 by 40. Lastly, we have the Night Beacon, which is available in a twin queen or king. The twin size is 72 by 99, queen 99 by 99, and king 108 by 99. The fabric requirements are up on the FreeSpirit website, and so if you had wanted us to put together a kit for you, we have limited fabric available, but we would love to be able to help you put that together if you were looking to have us bring in the pattern and put together a kit for you with these fabrics. The patterns are $12 for the pieced patterns, $20 for the Star Storm, and I am not sure what the Smooth Turns is, as that one has the acrylic templates with it, and so I was not able to find that. So I would be able to have more information if you were interested. We are excited to see what additional fabrics and projects that come in the coming months from her. We are going to take a moment and hop over to our Toes in the Sand project. And so we are going to be dedicating our second Thursday of the month to talk specifically about blocks of the month, but our blocks of the month session is actually first happening for the first time next week. And those of you that have been super excited about Toes in the Sand, we were a little unclear as to how everything was happening because Fabric 1 is available at the store already. So let us spend a little bit of time talking about this fun program. So Julie Herman, Jaybird Quilts, the one that we had, the designer that we had featured last year in our We Heart Tula Club, that we had been working on the Nebula blocks. This year, she had decided to have a 10th anniversary quilt along for her Toes in the Sand quilt. And her Toes in the Sand quilt can be done as a twin or a queen. And we have put together some kits for that. The kits are fat eighth friendly, and then it needs some extra background. So if you were interested in participating in this, we do have some kits that we'll be able to put together for you. We have more books arriving, so we would probably be looking at next week to be able to start anyone new, but if you've already set it up, we're ready to go. And you will get all of your fat eighths months by month, and then at the end of the program, you'll be getting your finishing. The kit that we're providing is for the twin size, and Jackie has been playing along making the blocks, and she said she was actually able to get out 2 sets of blocks, which is enough for the queen, by piecing together an extra strip. So there was a pieced strip in one of them, but she was able to get out 4 blocks from her block 1 pack. So I can't guarantee that that's going to happen, but there's definitely great fabric here, and love, love, love the color. So the kit that we put together is in this color grouping. All right, so let's take a peek at what block 1 looks like. So block 1 is Baker Beach and is done. It's 2 different triangles. So it's a little bit simpler than the Nebula was, that you're only making triangles. You're not having to make diamonds for the sampler blocks that you're making. And in this particular block, each of them uses 2 fabrics, Julie Herman has a fantastic video tutorial sew along that she's doing every single month, and we are super excited to be able to have her lead on the crew and show how to best piece her quilts. If you are unfamiliar with her Facebook group and videos, she has sew along groups dedicated to her latest quilt alongs. So the fabrics for block 1 are the Daydreamer Sundays in Cloud, Solid of Dewdrop, True Colors Wildflower Snapdragon, and Pom Poms and Marigold. So this is a combination of her True Colors, Solids, and her Daydreamer line, which we have in stock at the store. Block 2 is Santa Barbara. So Santa Barbara is a really fun block that features the super cool flamingo fabric. And once again, if you're making the twin size, you make 1 block in each of the color combinations. If you are making the queen size, you would be making 2 blocks of each of them. And the queen size would require extra fabric than the kit that we have available in the store. Let's take a peek at those fabrics. So this particular quilt, the block, we're using 5 fabrics. So you're using the True Colors Hexie and Thistle, the Daydreamer Pretty in Pink Dragonfruit, Solids of Stargazer and Tanzanite, and Lucy in Dragonfruit. The quilts are pretty simple for putting together. I don't have the blocks here. We will be spending a little bit of time in our block of the month session next week to be talking more about the blocks. Now, Flo asked, does each pack make 2 blocks? So each of them makes the picture of what we just shared. So you make 1 block in each of the color combinations with the fabric pack that is provided. And then that would create the quilt to look just like this, which is super cool. Of course, you can mix things up if you wanted to add or subtract fabrics along the way, or change the order of how the blocks are put together in this order. And as I had said, our fabric packs we will have ready in the beginning of the month, every month, for you to play along. And so you don't have to wait until the 2nd week of the month if you had wanted to get started on that. All right, so just right first in the beginning of the month, ready to go. Other Jaybird quilt patterns that we have in stock right now are Nova and Rock Candy. I know Tula has started on, or not Tula, Jaybird has started another quilt along of Night Sky. We had special ordered some of those patterns in for some of our customers, and if you had seen any of those patterns or different patterns that you had needed us to bring in for a quilt along or such, just let us know and we'd be more than happy to bring them in for you. Talking about quilt alongs and things that are Tula related, I know a lot of you have been really excited and giddy about the Butterfly Quilt Volume 2. We do have patterns available in store. Yay! We had gotten our additional shipment, and this is really fun. It's a sampler that you put together as a butterfly. If you were interested, we are going to be doing a quilt along, but that's first going to start in summer because we have lots going on already, and we had not scheduled time to start this now. So we'll be starting this in the summer. Really fun, and this is great to use not only with Tula fabric, but you could choose and use it with any fabric that you'd like. I had seen a comment that was a little bit higher that was questioning about the repeat in a Victoria Finley wool fabric. So I just wanted to pull that fabric up and be able to take a ruler to it so that we can see what the repeat is. These are some all over prints that we have here. And I think we were talking about this one here. And let's look overhead, Frank, at this piece here. And I don't have the bolt in front of me to look at. Let me just quick grab the bolt here so that we can look at it more specifically. Frank's grabbing it for us. So you can see that it's the same motif here, and we're going to look at it underneath the ruler here. And so I'm thinking, so Diane, were you interested in using this for a one block wonder type quilt? So we can see here, we have the repeat here. So most fabrics are 24, and that's what this is. And a little tip here as to, I mean, sometimes they go shorter than that, but very, very rarely do they go longer than that. And so the question might be, that you might say, is why 24? And that's because the screens are 24 that come down, okay? So that is why they're 24. So there is a lot of repeat here of some of the same motifs. And so, but like this guy here, it has something different next to it. So it's not quite the same. A lot of similar elements, and it could be lots of fun. So thank you so much, Frank, for grabbing that for us. That is one of the amazing things about doing our videos here up in the shop, so that we are able to grab things from the store and look things up for you. We have received some new Tim Holtz wide backs. So remember, our wide backs we have cut and are on hangers in the front of the store, so that when you want to shop for them, you just need to pick up the hanger and you don't need to battle with the oversized bolt, which can be really, really heavy. And then you just bring it up to the cutting table and we'd be more than happy to cut it for you. So we have a whole variety of them, but today we're going to look at the new Tim Holtz fabrics, and these are available on our website as well. So this one is called Memorandum in blue, and in true Tim Holtz style, we have our text and some distressed look here, like this looks like old tape marks, you know, maybe on some wallpaper here. Really nice. These wide backs are all 108 inches. For these wide backs, I would recommend pre-washing them prior to using them. There may be some additional shrinkage, as is with many, many wide backs. But they are so nice that you don't have to piece them. This here, this is Maps in black. And these wide backs are only $20.99 a yard, which is a really great price. And so let's just open this up a little bit to be able to see. And you know, this is just a small piece here, and so we take it's just straightening up the bolt here. Really nice. I love maps on fabric. Love, love, love it. Super cool. Then we have Expedition. And this is a world map. We have the United States, Chicago. It doesn't say Elm Grove here. I don't know. I need to have a talk with Tim Holtz to put Elm Grove on the world map. Don't you think? I think so. So, really cool. And this again is Expedition 108. And then this one is Dictionary. So the words that we have here: inspire, memory, remember, tree. Oh my goodness, I like this one. Flourish. So really nice, great words. Curiosity. I love text on fabric. So those are the new Tim Holtz wide backs that we have. I brought over a couple other fun things to share with you just because, why not? We do have this really great coffee table book, Facet in the Studio. And these beautiful knits are on Kate's design wall flannel, which is something we carry all the time. Just as a reminder, it is a 2-inch gray flannel grid that works really, really well. And he does also have a fun little video for how you use his flannel fabric as a design wall. And the gray works really nice as being nice neutral for your background. And the grid is also nice to help you with scale. So we have that book available here. We have a very cool half-yard tower of all of the mille-feuille in the whole array. Ooh, what do you think? Do you think that we should be using different mille-feuille as just have a whole mille-feuille club selection? What do you think? That could be a lot of fun. We'll probably end up doing that in one of our upcoming months, where we just take one style of fabric for one of these designers and just have a color run and have that be one of our month options for some of our favorite basics from these great designers that we're featuring. And we do continue with the Tula solids as well that I had said. The Tula solids do go well with all of our FreeSpirit designers as well as any fabric, but it's really interesting how with a manufacturer a lot of the dye lots for the entire manufacturer just go with each other. And so that's one of the things why we might gravitate towards one manufacturer solids over another with certain fabrics, if that makes sense. So that's why it's important to be able to have a lot of different crayons in our crayon box to be able to play. And I am so excited because while this isn't specifically FreeSpirit related, we are really, really excited because we've had a whole bunch of our basics and color wall restocked, which is super exciting because sometimes it was feeling like the color wall shelves are getting a little tippy. So we finally got in some of those fabrics that we've been waiting on, which is really, really exciting. So I've been talking for a really long time. Are there any questions that you have been waiting to ask while we have been talking? I know I've been trying to keep up along the way. So I'll have you look, or I'll wait for your questions, but while we're waiting for questions, I did want to share with you some fun seasonal stuff. So we had been talking about Julie Herman from Jaybird earlier, and in her Facebook group, I had seen how she was sharing some fun Valentine's excitement that she had with her patterns, and so she has shared a heart block, and her Sweetheart Table Topper is a free and downloadable pattern tutorial from her website, and that's a little hexagon there that has the heart, but she also has a standalone bonus block pattern of just the heart on the straight, which is super cool. And so that is using her Hex and More diamond. You can see there how it's 2 diamonds put together to make the heart, which is just a really nice shape. And so you could use it alone, you could use it with something else, you could put the hearts together to make a really fun table topper. So while I didn't have the time to quick whip up a new version of it, I thought it was really important to be able to share with you if you had wanted to put some fabrics together in order to make that. And I will include the link after we are done here. I didn't have the link handy to be able to paste into the comments right now, but I will put the link into the comments after we're done with our presentation. For the standalone heart, I know that she has it as a bonus block, and she just has you check out on her website for that. And so she just wants your email because she wants to know who's using her patterns, and that's really fine and great. So you have to check out, but it's a $0 order, and then you get the PDF emailed right to your inbox. And so it's a really great way to get a fun heart block. And in that same area, she has a few other components that you'd be able to download as well. And Diane has made the Sweetheart Table Runner in red for Valentine's and green for St. Patrick's. St. Patrick's, it's like you've been reading my mind. So I do have to share with you that while it's not FreeSpirit specific, we got in some brand new St. Patrick's Day fabric. And I am going to show you the fabrics that we got. We actually got in 2 St. Patrick's Day lines. Yay! And let me share with you what they are. And so I'm first going to show you the panel, and then we're going to look overhead, and then Frank's going to get a couple bolts for me from the front of the new ones that came today. So this panel here is, let me show you here. Can you, let's see here if I can fit this underneath. Da, da, da. So this is a 24 by width of fabric. And we have more gnomies. I swear we have more St. Patrick's Day gnomies this year. So it's Luck of the Irish. And you see a whole bunch of gnomes here. Really kind of cool. And there's 4-leaf clovers in this guy. And we put a fat quarter tower together of all 14 fabrics from this line. There is also a border panel, which we did not include because we didn't want to use the border stripe. So this particular line has 4-leaf clovers. All the gnomies. So I think this is the most St. Patrick's Day fabric that we've ever had in the store. Currently it's taking up like 3 cubbies, which is really exciting. Nice little scrolled hearts here. The shamrocks in 2 different, 4-leaf clovers. And then you have this all over here. And this is a little bit different of a green. It's more of a, it's a different green, which is just a bright, fresh, refreshing green here. And then you have this same print. Nope, different print. Here is more of a scenic. So all of these are in store. I need to get them online. If there is something that you needed, let me know because I can hook you up before it's technically online. And then we have some new pieces today, and this one, oh my goodness, you're going to be excited about. So we got a whole, this one here. We have the Shamrock pickup trucks. I mean, come on. Isn't this cool? So, you know, there is just no shortage of St. Patrick's Day themed fabrics here this year. And if you come in and say, Julie, you don't have any St. Patrick's Day fabric, well, Frank might walk you out of the store because he's just so excited about all the St. Patrick's Day fabric that we have. And then we have more gnomes. Look at this. So cute. Teeny tiny little gnomies. With the little rainbow and the bucket of gold. So lots and lots of fun fabric. And I, of course, am not even showing you some of the other ones that we had there. So that is the latest and greatest of our St. Patrick's Day fabrics. How many of you like to make seasonal things? Do you like making lots of seasonal things? You know, it's That's what we quilt for, right? We decorate for the holidays, be it St. Patrick's Day, Valentine's Day, hot chocolate celebration day, you just never know. And then we also celebrate for making beautiful things for our homes or making things for gifts. I don't see any questions that have been presented. Oh, and Deb had just shared that she likes making seasonal napkins, and that is really, really great. And you know what? I should even include that in one of our programs here, that we should talk about all things seasonal and how to very easily and quickly decorate for the holidays, so that you can just be all sorts of decked out every single month for a different type of thing. I'd like to thank you for tuning in tonight. We have a program every single Thursday night. Next Thursday, we are going to be talking about blocks of the month, and we are going to be talking about the block bonanza, as well as the toes in the sand. And oh, Jessica wants to know if we have the new Ghastly line in. And the Ghastly line is on order, but unless if something crazy is that I don't know about, it is not expected for some time still. But I guarantee you we are going to have great Ghastly fabric. And message me offline if for some reason you see it in somewhere else that I don't have, so I can call and see where it is, all right? Because we need more Ghastlies. We need all the Ghastlies. I look forward to seeing you in the store, online. We will be having a show and tell sharing session on our new feature, Show Me Saturday, where we will be posting up a little video of some fun show and tell that has been coming through our Patchwork Party group. Thanks so much for tuning in tonight. Message me with any comments or questions. Happy quilting, and we'll see you soon.